You know, what up, guys? This is for Senator Ted. I was just watching a video with him. He talking about homeless people that's on. He talking about people sleeping in a vacant place. And I think what the problem they got in Dallas and the shelters are telling people they have to sleep on the streets. You see bodies on the streets of Dallas because these black people in the shelters telling people to sleep on the streets. So they go in a vacant place because they being told they have to sleep on the streets before they get a hot meal. Instead of, all right, giving them a hotel card, get all right, we're gonna put you in this hotel. We don't want you to sleep out in the streets, but what you gonna put in the hotel? All right, we don't got enough room. We understand. Let's put you in this hotel. You're not gonna have to sleep out in the streets. But some of these shelters in Dallas, they're telling people they gotta sleep on the streets before they get a hot meal. But let me tell you, the way that the shelter program works, they want you to stand there for a year and progress. But they don't need to be doing that. They need to hurry up and get jobs and hurry up and get apartment complex. And they don't need to do it. They're in and out. They let people stand there a year at the shelter before they get a home. And they gotta come back in and out of the shelter and before they can get a home. And I just think that ain't right about the Pacific of those things. Trust me, I had an experience where they told me I had to sleep on the street before I get a house. You know what? I went my ass back home. But if you're talking about vacant, that's a different story. But the other thing I can understand, but people sleeping in the vacant, these things are happening because these shelters are telling people they have to sleep on the streets. I didn't been through it. I'm gonna tell Senator Ted, you're talking, and I didn't been through it. Why people? My brother went to jail for sleeping in a thing. I didn't been through it. But the most the thing about what stuff goes is about domination. It's about domination. It's about control. It's about control. And people are getting fired from their job when they lose their job. And this is a big key point for me because I didn't see people lose their job and they have nothing. I didn't watch a friend come off the streets at 2996. Then she started working, then they're not working there. These things of people losing their jobs and they not having nothing to back it up. And I think when I was dealing with jealousy and I was dealing with that 1216 and dealing with Charles and them, and they want the racial profile and intimidate me, they think I didn't have no way out. The reason why people are sleeping on the streets that loss of job, loss of they don't have home, domination, um, HUBERT, JR, Baby Legend, a lot of other stuff. This type of Huber sellers. Go to my TikTok. I got a lot of TikTok accounts. Yes, but people are at their home. They're on the streets because of that situation. Of that situation. It's about control and domination. Let me tell you what I know about a king. A king, when you're in this music business, you gotta have your seed plan. And you gotta know when you see other rich people, 3,500 foot, other rich people in the neighborhood, and people not looking after people. The other day I was in South Dallas, over there in South Dallas. I saw a body just on the floor, on the ground, shaking. Shaking on what that is. I can't do nothing, but that person got to be able to help himself and get to the people that he needs. But the thing is he going to change his surroundings? So he's on the ground. Do you think, Senator Ted, is people are breaking into lots and sleeping on it because your shelter's acting up? Your shelter's acting up in a way that they don't. I didn't. I had to deal with a shelter over the bridge at Dallas, and I had to deal with it. I carried my ass back home. I didn't want to deal with that bullshit. I didn't want to deal with that. But Senator Ted, when you're talking about issues like that, know where the problem at in society. People are losing their job. One thing I realized when I was working at Walmart and they said they got to start getting rid of people. And we're gonna talk about that with Senator Ted. When I was working at Walmart and I came there every day, and they said, "How you gonna get? How you know that?" I said, "They ain't gonna get rid of me." How you know that? How you think that? Because I'm here every day. And some of these older people be scared to lose their job, and they rather keep them to keep the other people that don't want to slave and just do more of the work. And I think the more I came to work, it was an ambition. Me going to work with negativity. These people want to treat us bad. They want us to lose our job and don't have. And we see stuff at Walmart when a person lose their job and they toss and stuff. Um, Jessica tried to do me something dirty. Tried to lie on me. We're gonna talk about that and fire me and racism and fire me and do me something dirty. But only if she know that I had a backup plan with the racist behavior. Only if she know that I have a backup plan. And I didn't let her do those things. Even when Social Security did me wrong, I still hold my head. I was still, when they cut me off and they did what they did me. And we're gonna talk with that about that. Me standing on the streets and me being in that format, dealing with local Social Security treating me wrong, and me not having that home base, and they not giving me my income and misbehaving themselves, and Walmart misbehaving themselves. We have these things where racism at. So if they're going to talk about tax dollars and the rest of the night, you need to talk about racism and business and the personality with disability. Don't ask these things and we can't be able to talk about the keys of the certain situation. People are sleeping off of lost jobs. People, I went on interviews in Irving. This guy, the lady called me back at Coca-Cola, and I decided not to get the back. She decided to hire me part-time because of my personality, the way she was acting, and that's why I didn't take the job in Irving. I didn't like the way she acted, even though I got called for the job back. But I didn't like the way she acted at Coca-Cola in Irving, and I didn't like the way that situation acted. So I didn't take the job. I had the job, but I didn't take the job because I didn't like the way she acted. Same when I go on interviews in Irving, Plano, and Target in Louisville. Black lady interviewing me was not even giving a chance my intelligence there. And they were about what another manager said at another store. And and when they did that, my sister-in-law, my cousin brother got me that job in Louisville, that interview. And for them doing that, for that black person judging me and did what she did, bam. When we're gonna talk about this because when disability fill out an application for Target or one of these places, they send your email and tell you we not being needing you because you ain't qualified for that thing. And that's something that needs to be talked about. Oh, we are not qualified when Target getting the application just because you don't have this title and you don't know how to do this thing. I done been on interviews where I called Target in Texas. And they tell you, they say, we're not gonna need you, but they tell them attitudes at Target. And we're gonna talk about something. in this civil rights complaint where people are not getting heard. And you want to talk about this, Senator Ted, how Governor Abbott, since the politics pulled the stunt that they pulled, we're going to talk about Target. And we're going to talk about how disability fill our application at Ticket to Work program, and these corporate offices don't want to hire them off of behavior. We're going to talk about those things. You don't got a 9 damn disability up in your state of Texas business because of those things. I didn't went on job interviews. I didn't call Irvin and Louisville, and I didn't call them, and then they acted some type of way with an attitude. HR and them, in Louisville, Irvin, all the rest of these people don't know how to handle business. My problem with leaving Walmart, I'm gonna tell you something. I want Senator Ted to hear me. My problem with leaving Walmart, I asked them to teach me something, and racism said no. Racism want to be bossy. Racism want to have ego. The same thing I want to call local government, and this guy was rude to me in the local government. When I got the number from the car, I want Senator Ted to hear me, and I hope he get this video. And this guy told me to shut up. No, I didn't get that number for you to just tell me to shut up. I got that number for you to help me get into the right direction if I can talk to somebody important. The behavior that's going on for my local government. People on the streets because of your shelters, the way y'all operate in Texas, the way y'all operate in the nation. You are not timing. You letting people stay in the shelter for a year, and that's not how that should be. Before you get in that hotel, if you go from a hospital, staying at a hospital, all right, you need an apartment. Before you leave that hospital, most people check themselves into the hospital. Before you leave that hospital, let's see the things that you're going to get. I've been in a hospital where, or you're going to go to a shelter, they need to be getting stuff ready, checking with the shelter to get you ready to get in the apartment before you get out of, you don't have no home to go before you get out that hospital and go to that shelter. They need to start preparing you while you're in that hospital to live. You get some people get admitted to the hospital because of mental breakdowns, and they're in Dallas County, and they get admitted to the hospitals. But when you get out or see this paperwork, they need to give you all of these things. Let's hook you up with apartments and a shelter. Let's get these people out here in the ahead of time. You let these people here stay here in a year at times. They sleeping on vacant yachts. You want them to stay a year in progress. And it don't go like that. So when most of the people that's on the street, they're coming from a hospital, a mental illness. All right, when they coming from that hospital mental illness, why you don't, hold up. When the doctors come and see me, this and that, hold up. Let's find out how you need to get an apartment. We can get you hooked with apartments while you're here. And then when you get out and you go to that shelter, wherever you at, you can already have a place to stay in the apartment. You just got to keep a phone. You just got to keep in contact. But these shelters telling everybody, and I got to stop doing that because that's what the enemy wants. The same thing that happened in 2019. They want this to happen. And I'm not about to participate in Dallas behavior. That's that same thing with that dark behavior when I tried to explain the dark situation and everybody turned on me in that behavior. So if other people don't care, I'm just standing up. I'm just talking about me. And I had a brother went through that situation and he got caught. So I'm talking about those things because of those situations. And then people want $800 and $900 for a damn hotel. You go to a shelter, they got the same thing. Go to a group home. The atmosphere is different. The way they need to change the atmosphere. I've been in that situation when I was out of high school. I was still in school and my teacher took me to a group home in Dallas a little bit. And that month I stayed 2 days, but I didn't like the way the energy was. The way the atmosphere where we need to change those things and how to make it fun. The same thing in the hospital. Same thing in the hospital where they don't want you to watch religion. They're telling you in the hospital this black guy turning God off the channel at the hospital in Dallas. We're gonna also talk about that and find out that the hospital in Dallas that I went to, telling people we can't watch church as a black, and you're a black man because your faith is not real. Really? And we had to deal with those things. Yeah, Dallas hospital, they on some other shit. The belief system go farther than anything of it. But I had to, I say, Senator Ted, these issues of understanding. People are sleeping in vacant lots because of the way your shelters at. The way they don't know how to do rotation. The way they don't know how to handle business. The way they let people stay there in a year. 7, 8, or 9. That's the way that things is. You telling these people they have to stay in their year when they come from that hospital, when before they getting their medicine done, all right, let's hook them up with an apartment complex. You should be already getting people to talk. Y'all want the things to take time and all the rest of the things. Sometimes things need to step a little bit more forward. But they telling people they have to sleep on the streets before they can get a hot meal. It's your fault that they're doing that. You don't got enough shelters open. Some of them are on the pack. The hotel, these people want money. And let me tell you, and if you want to pay for a hotel each month, find out 2 per person at a hotel. Find out how that's going to be for each month. And you get that state a budget, but you let people stay on the streets. Find how many people you're going to put in those hotels, and then you come with a budget. So those with that thing, but I'm talking about my world. And I'm talking about what I had to go through, and I had to deal with Charles and them getting mad about, oh yeah, you want me to be, you want me to lose, and you gotta watch out for these ego managers because they want us to lose. They think you don't have no way out when they fire you. And we gotta watch out for those behaviors. We gotta watch out for racism and watch out why people are losing their job because of ego and domination and behavior in those matters. I was not about to become a victim as Charles. Why Charles and Russell and all the rest of them, they can kiss my ass. They can kiss ASS. I'm sorry. They can kiss. I'm not about to become a victim. Senator Ted is watching this. I am not about to become a victim. I watch it. They can do no, because these black people want to judge personality. No, and these kids got to know how to say no to things, no to drugs, no to. I know when somebody offered me a piece of weed, a piece of something, I say no. I have enough sense in my head to say no with those things. Especially if I don't know you, especially if I don't know you. I say no. One person tried to come and hand me a bag. I don't know what that is. I don't know what those bags is. Why I'm gonna have something that I don't know what it is at the time. Teach our kids how to say no to drugs and walk away. And if they doing it, get them away from them. That's the biggest problem that we have up in society. But peer pressure, it can be a mud. When the person trying to get me to do veins in my thing, in my veins, I told him no. Because I know my mindset. I control this up there. Just like the same time they tried to manipulate me up in Dallas County. I said no. Because you got to know what manipulation is. We have to teach our kids. They want to keep up with the cool kids and keep up with everybody and do all of these things. Right now, let me tell you right now, I ain't trying to be nobody. I don't care if I'm not trying to be nobody but you. I've been doing this since I was a kid. And I have always moved a different way. Everybody can talk bad about me, but I have always moved in a way. But when you're trying to do good, it's not good enough for Walmart. When you're doing everything you told, it's not good enough for these businesses because they want domination and control, ego, and everybody. I don't know how y'all feel. Let me tell you something. I talk to people on UP Live. And people, this girl that worked on Amazon in Tennessee, and she told me about her boss trying to holler and do all of these things. It was wrong. And she felt some type of way. Me having that relationship with people in Tennessee and on UP Live and be able to just talk to them and be on different after this for them to tell me about their situation. What's going on? Yes, we can. So those are the things that we need to talk about. We talk about those societies. But those the things that we need to talk about. But these business think we don't have a backup plan, they can just abuse. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not the one. I'm not the one. I'm telling these people in this community, I'm not the one. I'm telling every Texas legislator, I'm not the one to be a victim of your system, of your business and your racist business, and you don't want to change how they behave. I'm not the one to play with. And I want every senator that think I'm not the one. I'm not the one when I know how these spirits act, and I know people want to fire you for no reason. And these managers don't know how to watch their words or what they say to employees. I don't know about everybody else because they need their job, but I'm speaking about me. I have learned my lessons in those situations. Walmart, and other people don't speak up, I'm speaking about me. And everybody, if they decide to follow and go against the grain, that's on them. But I have to attack my situation or what I've been through because nobody else ain't gonna take care of like you. And with that shit they did in Dallas and the mayor went off that shit and all the politics and darting them doing, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal where we judging the mindset and people judging the mindset and these workers want to agree with them and the dark wants to agree with them. And I'm going to tell them, I hear you talking loud and clear. But when I got myself stuck in hub off of Dart the last time, the Dart employees wanted to add that. Let's see what it has right there. You got the proof. Well, she could have just told you, but hey, hello. She wanted to be aggressive. She didn't have to be like that. I'm sorry. She didn't have to be like you on the phone. She didn't have to be like that. She could have told Hubert, hold up with a low voice. Come back and do that. She screamed and hollered. And she tried to hide her face. And I sent it to the Justice Department. Same complaint I made in 2019. And the community turned. And they got a problem where we are dealing with those things where, all right, these people in these cars house don't care about y'all on the bus. They don't care about y'all. As long as they get it where they're trying to get in at, y'all need to start thinking and having that mindset. They don't care about y'all. People that drive that, and I'm speaking how I speak. I know a person that got a car. If I'm in Dallas right now somewhere, they don't care. I gotta get it how I get it. But I also gotta think the way those things are. All is about domination and control. And it's about turning people against each other in the mindsets. Because you telling them they got to sleep at this shelter, and you telling them this. Why you screaming? You telling them you got to do this mess, and you telling them they got to do that mess. I'm not starting shit, but this is getting worse and where the thing that, but they think that I'm just gonna sit and roll over and pay something where we are not getting treated fair in the businesses, and we are not getting treated fair in the colleges, and I'm not getting my equal right of growth because y'all rules. I made my decision to go away because I'm tired of the same old stuff. Walmart have crossed that line. Dylan and Miller have turned my world upside down with his racist, lying behavior. But if these people want to take advantage of disability, bam. One thing I'm not going to say nothing, and I'm not going to say nothing. One of the Mirza as a friend, the Diamond as a friend, we talked about something. Hit Mirza Cabinet, how they treat his dad at Walmart. And before I started working at 1216, I saw that same situation. And I remember having that thing where Mirza was telling me, look at all these plaques that he had. And they treat him bad at Walmart. These managers and do that. They don't know how to address and treat people. I didn't see people in orientation lose their job on the first day because control, just because somebody want to learn a different way on the phone and do stuff a different way to learn something, to figure out something. I didn't see no things at 1216. People losing their job because a manager want to step over bound and tell, hold up, people are learning a different way, different skills. Let me tell you something. All this stuff at the airport, at DFW airport, people can't even get a caseworker to help them on the thing that ticket to work program for they can be an unload. Because y'all come over protective in that matter. You should not just look at that person, you're right. Start looking at the personality. When I went to interviews at Walmart, and I said in interviews at Walmart, none of them asked me about my customer service. None of them asking me how would I talk to people on the floor. None of them asked me about that. None of them asked me when I went on interviews, you gotta use the bathroom, go use the bathroom. None of them, where's the toilet? Where's the toilet up, bro? You don't need me to do that right now. So that's the situation is. That's the situation is. One thing you need to take care of domination and intimidation. Yeah.